can now access Al Huda TV anywhere, anytime, on the go. Enjoy watching all your favorite programs on Al Huda TV mobile application. From now onwards, you will not miss out on any of our programs. We have added a couple of engaging features such as Quran recitation featuring your best Quran reciters, Ramadan timetable to help you keep track of your fasting, prayer times, adhkar to bring you even more closer to Allah, and zakah calculation. Do not forget, we are streaming live right in the palm of your hands. Al Huda Mobile, with you everywhere you go.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Mtazamaji, karibu katika kipindi chako kipendacho Nasaha kwa Umma. Natumai umekuwa mwenye kufurahia wikendi yako. Ikiwa leo ni tarehe 30 mwezi wa 5 mwaka wa 2021. Vile mtazamaji, kama ilivyo ada ya kila siku, studioni na wageni wangu pamoja na nahodha mwenzangu. Labda tuniwape fursa wapate kujitambulisha. Mada ya leo ikiwa ni education and career guidance. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Jina langu ni Amal Latif na mimi iko host wenu wa leo. Karibu sana.
Naam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jina langu ni Rahma B. I'm the head of HR and linkages pale Brookville College.
Naam, mashallah. Wa kila siku nafurahi sana nikiona mabinti akina dada tukiwa na positions, such high positions. You know, this men siku hizi. Alhamdulillah. Anyway, mtazamaji, kabla tu tuanze kuzungumzia mada yetu ya leo, tutaanza na uchambuzi wa magazeti, ambapo leo kwenye gazeti ya The Daily Nation kuna topic ambayo inazungumzia youth rejection of agriculture hindering Kenya's productivity. Now, ikiandamana na mada yetu ya leo ambayo ni education and career guidance, agriculture as a subject in itself and the youth. How should the youth take up on agriculture?
Ukiangalia, agriculture ni the backbone of the society, in a society, in countries na everything. Agriculture ni kila mtu kila siku lazima ale chakula, na hiyo chakula inatokana na the whole point of agriculture as a subject, na wewe pia kuwa na shamba ama kitu kama hiyo. Sasa kama the youth, kama sisi tunakata hiyo agriculture, 10 years from now, 20 years from now tutakuwa tukiomba chakula from other countries, ama tutakuwa tuna farming all over the country, kwa sababu we don't take up the initiative ya kuanza business ya agriculture ama ku purchase farms, invest in farms. So I think tusipo take up the agriculture as a business and, you know, working it out, tutakuwa na farming.
Now, like, is it possible that the youth don't know the true meaning, the true advantage of embracing agriculture? Because unajua pia ukimwambia mtu afanye agriculture na hajui faida zake, it's as well as you're not telling him anything. So like if youth wanaweza kuwa educated on agriculture, wajue what is really agriculture, like what do you think?
So me, I think it's because most of the youth, they've been educated about white collar jobs more than this other type of jobs. So when you tell a youth, hey bana, you can go and do agriculture, anakwambia hey, that is the dirty work. Hiyo ni work ya mashosho wetu, our grandparents, our grandfather, our grandmother, you see, but they don't know the benefit of agriculture. So I think we are supposed to enlighten more about agriculture more than the white collar jobs.
Yeah, because unajua pia kuna hiyo, according to me, I think it's a myth. Haifai kwa encouraged, because unasikia mtu anasema ukiishi kwa rural areas uko agriculture unaweza fanya, but ukiwa kwa urban cities it's not possible to engage yourself in agriculture. So maybe we kwako understand agriculture aje? Agriculture, does it also involve the processing? Maybe umechukua the products from rural areas, then kuna urban areas most of the processing inafanyika. So does it also involve agriculture? ni utasema maybe youth akipata kazi kwa tea company but as a processor, inamaanisha pia ako involved in agriculture, or agriculture it's just the planting, the harvesting?
I think for, let's say from Uganda, but hiyo imanishi tumefanya agriculture in our country, tumeplant the plants na chakula kwa conduction, but hiyo kufarm na nini ndo agriculture in my opinion.
Okay, then you know, when you speak of agriculture, like it's one term standing for many activities. You know, like you can be planting, you're a farmer, you harvest your crops, but at the same time mfuga
because unaweza uliza a youth kwa
culture, because our watoto wanazaliwa in the urban cities. You know, mtoto amezaliwa Nairobi akiona kuku ina hatch, that's news to him. Hiyo ni news kwake, because hajawahi ona, anakuwa surprised like really what's happening. But ukienda uko rural areas ushago ni first hand ya educate the children about agriculture, na maybe kuambia youth the advantages of practicing agriculture.
In my opinion, I think the government should be the ones to promote hiyo story ya agriculture, na unajua kufanya mass education kwa watu, people in the urban areas and also in the rural, kwa sababu most of the time ukiangalia kuna rural to urban migration. Watu wanatafuta, vile Rahma amesema, watu wanatafuta hiyo white collar jobs, so wanatoka rural, wanaacha wazazi wao rural areas, wanahamia Nairobi, wanangangana, unajua. Na I think the government should be the ones to tell the youth benefits ya agriculture ni nini, how much you can get from that job, you know, like, kwa sababu mimi naona kama agriculture is, you know, gold enye atujui ni gold, kwa sababu inaweza solve so many unemployment crisis enye tuna experience saizi, kwanza kwa sababu ya hii COVID-19 na vile watu wameachishwa kazi. So I think the government should be the ones to do the mass education.
Yeah, actually it solve a lot of unemployment opportunities, because like in Nairobi right now watu wengi wanalia, oh hatuna kazi, well in real sense the only thing preventing us from giving these people job opportunities is that mtu mwenyewe anaona nikuwe kweli mkulima Nairobi. How? Unaona, yet you can start up your own farm. Ukianzisha, mtu mmoja akianzisha hiyo farm atapatia a lot of people kazi, because kwa hiyo farm moja we need people to harvest, we need people to plant, we need people to do the plowing, we need people to do the processing. Imagine farm ya mtu mmoja Nairobi itakuwa imepatia watu wangapi kazi?
Watu wengi.
Yeah, a lot of people, but all in all nobody wants to farm in Nairobi.
I hope it will change.
Yeah, kwa the standard kuna about responsibilities make learners better leaders. So just if you can just take us through this, Rahma, does it mean that responsibilities maybe in terms of being prefects, maybe you becoming a prefect kwa class na kufanya ina kumold yani ama?
Okay, so in my opinion, mi nadhani on the basics of responsibility making learners become better leaders, I think wanafaa ku bring up something whereby, let's not say a curriculum, but something like ni kama clubs, sports and all that. So because most of the kids unaweza pata shule mtu akona hiyo talent, unaona, ya leadership, you know, but because hana hiyo courage na hajapatiwa msee mwenye atamuonyesha, when you want to address this certain people, you're supposed to do this and this and this. So I think in schools wanafaa ku major on that more, because we have so many leaders wenye wako na poor qualities, you see, and now wako on the publicity, but we have leaders with awesome qualities but publicity yao iko very low. Yeah.
Because I see here they're saying through leading a group, students learn how to resolve conflicts, they learn how to manage their time and resources while advancing confidence and urgency. For example, like in high school, we had this thing about you becoming a captain, you're the captain of the school, president. A few years from then, maybe 5.
From, I think it was only Form 4. Hata sijui. But class prefect wa Form 4.
You don't even remember, like you're not sure.
But it wasn't that difficult, so that's why I can't even remember.
Class yenyu haikuwa na watiaji?
Na najua tulikuwa na class, like school president in the same class. So of course yeye ndo atakuwa na stress, si mimi.
Yani unapatiwa chance ukwe leader lakini stress ni ya mtu mwingine. Exactly. Hiyo chance yako angepea mtu mwingine. Seriously, Amal. Anyway, mtazamaji, tupo live kupitia kurasa yetu ya Facebook @Huda TV. Vile vile pia unaweza kaingia Google Play Store na download app yetu ya Huda TV. Tupo live there. Any program that ulikuwa umemiss kwa Huda TV iko hapo hivyo. And pia tuko live kupitia YouTube @Huda TV Kenya. Pia awamu nyingine unaweza kutupigia simu, maswali yako, comment yoyote yenye unataka kuweka. Amal, anything before I go for a short break?
Maybe just on the story vile alikuwa anaongelelea what is it called, how the teacher gave the students your responsibility. I think vile alikuwa anasema like the responsibilities ita uncover talent ya huyo student. For example, utampatia responsibility tuseme ya kufanya vitu kama auditing or atakuwa kama editor wa school magazine or something of the sort. Hiyo ita bring forth, atapata kuwa akona interest ya kuwa maybe editor wa newspaper or magazine or something, na hiyo itam guide to a certain career. So I think it's very important to give learners responsibilities, not only in relation to mambo ya shule kama physics or chemistry or something. Ikwe outside school work ndo pia inaweza uncover like a career choice. Yeah, that's what I wanted to add.
Okay, like there is also another story, though it's an emotional story and staki to base sana, but tunaweza iongelea juju, like just what to think about it, to see go deep into it. There's this story ya watu wamekuwa kiuliwa, then bodies zinapatikana, maybe the remains zinapatikana kwa mortuary. It's still not clear whether ni the police are killing these people or it's a certain group wenye wanawaua, like the case last week about Bashir. Yeah, so there's another case about it, and somebody else's body has been found kwa morgue. So is it the police or is it the gangsters? It's yet a question that we need answers from the government, but just what do you think about it? What's happening?
I think hata ukiangalia, I think mimi vile naiona ni something deeper than what we think it is, kwa sababu hata ukiangalia there's an undercover story ilifanyika in one of the local dailies. They were talking about how you can rent guns from police officers and everything, and ilikuwa inaonekana kuwa ni kama polisi they're in conjunction with the gangsters. So it's very hard to say that it's the police's fault or it's the gangsters' fault, because it looks like they're in it together, but you don't know the truth. Yeah. So I think, yeah, that's what I have to say about it.
What do you think about it, Rahma?
Okay. I actually concur with what she has said. And you know, basically, when something happens, there's a reason to why it has happened. Because you can't say it just happened abruptly with no reason. Yeah, so all I can say is Allahu Alam. Allah knows best. Yeah.
Mtazamaji, kipindi ni nasaha kwa umma, na leo mada yetu ya leo ni education and career guidance. Tunachukua mapumziko mafupi, usibadilishe station, baki hapo hapo Huda TV, mwongozo kwa umma.
You can now access Huda TV anywhere, anytime, on the go. Enjoy watching all your favorite programs on Huda TV mobile application. From now onwards, you will not miss out on any of our programs. We have added a couple of engaging features such as Quran recitation featuring your best Quran reciters, Ramadan timetable to help you keep track of your fasting, prayer times, adhkar to bring you even more closer to Allah, and zakah calculation. Do not forget, we are streaming live right in the palm of your hands. Huda Mobile, with you everywhere you go. Introducing Huda TV mobile application. It comes packed with all our programs, loaded with features you can't afford to miss on your mobile handset. You can now keep track of your prayer timings, calculate your zakah. Your closeness to Allah is even more closer with the adhkar. Most of all, we live stream everything from the application. Go to Google Play Store to install and get the full benefit of Al Huda Mobile with you everywhere you go.
Coronavirus COVID-19 is a respiratory virus spreading across the world. The infection is spread from droplets of coughing and sneezing of an infected person, touching or shaking hands, or being in contact with contaminated surfaces or objects with the virus. The signs and symptoms are fever, coughing, headache, body ache, difficulty in breathing. The disease can be prevented by regularly washing hands with soap and running water. Avoid close contact with people who have flu-like symptoms. Avoid handshake, hugs, and kissing. Also, protect yourself by covering your mouth or nose using a disposable tissue while coughing or sneezing. If you experience these symptoms and you had traveled or been in contact with a person from a country reporting COVID-19, you should isolate yourself for 14 days and seek immediate medical attention or report to the nearest health center. This message has been brought to you by the government of Kenya and its partners. For accurate information on COVID-19, dial *719# or call 719. Follow us on Twitter at @MOH_Kenya, at spokesperson GOK, at WHO.
Karibu tena mtazamaji, kipindi ni Nasaha kwa Umma, na mada yetu ya leo ni Education and Career Guidance. Labda tu tena ni wape wageni wangu fursa ya kujitambulisha kwa mara ya pili, maana na studioni hapa na mgeni mwingine ambaye ametujoin. Karibu sana.
Naam, thank you.
Naam.
Kwa majina naitwa Reagan Kayongo kutoka International Jamia of Languages and Professional Studies.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Naitwa Rahma B. I'm the head of HR and Linkages pale Brookville College.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so mada yetu ya leo vile nimesema ni Education and Career Guidance. Like basically before we get into career guidance, there's an agency for mtu aelewe education. Like mtu akisikia the word education, what do you think? Education, does it only apply at school? Does it apply at home? Does it apply at your workplaces? Like, what is education?
Well, thank you. Education is the systematic process through which an individual gets to learn something new. Kwa mfano, when you are studying something new, For example, you're studying how to use a phone or how to use a laptop, you are learning, and that is education. Education does not simply mean that you are acquiring it from a formal institution like a school, like a university, yes. But then what you can do with education is even at home. There's a saying which goes, Chaita begins at what?
At home.
Begins at home. So at home you learn also some few things from your parents, from your guardians. So that again is education. It does not necessarily mean that you have to go through a formal system to ensure that you acquire the best.
Okay. Now when you speak about career guidance in terms of education, career guidance, when does it exactly start? Before we even know what is career guidance, when does it exactly start? Well,
career guidance, again, we can simply define it as the way through which a person, an experienced person or a qualified person, comes to give you information basing on what you want. For example, if someone gives you information regarding the course to choose, that is career guidance. If someone gives you information, education and career guidance, these things concatenate. They are together, they are interacted, they interact. So kumaanisha nini? Kumaanisha education and career guidance, hizo vitu, they are two in one, and they can never run parallel. They are always one. And with us, what we do, basically before you choose a course, we ensure that we give you career guidance. And career guidance, we are going to get experts for you. They will take you through whatever you want, the updated courses, something like that.
So career guidance, vile umesema, it's when you give someone professional advice regarding what they want. Does it mean that mtu ako undecided on what he or she wants to do, anaweza pata career guidance ama hawezi pata? Rahma?
Okay, so as he said, so mtu mwenye ajui afanye doctor or farming or nurse, yes, anaweza pata career guidance whereby you're told maybe doing when you take up nursing, these are the advantages and these are the disadvantages, because in life everything iko na advantage and a disadvantage, you see. So like you're guided on the path to take and what you're passionate at, that now that's career guidance. Because most of the people, they end up doing nursing, but in the long run anapata certificate anaeka chini ya kitanda, you see. Now but if that person was guided on which career to take according to talent yake, according to capability yake and what she loves doing, maybe ingemsaidia later on in future. Yeah, so career guidance, it's really good, and yeah, it's really good for everyone.
Okay, so tukizungumzia career guidance, does it mean that career guidance, most of the time watu wakisikia career guidance wanafikiria nikimaliza form 4 lazima niende career guidance ndio nijue what I'm going to take? Career guidance inafaa kwanza after form 4 or career guidance inaweza fanyika hata primary, high school itself?
Lakini si lazima career guidance ianzie primary ama form 4 ama university. Career guidance inaanzia hata kwa nyumba. Career guidance, so your parent will teach you how to do some stuff basing on their profession or basing on what they do. Literally, career guidance at home can be for example, how a child will choose on which course to do, how a parent will guide the child in doing assignments, homework, something like that. For example, parents have this talent of identifying whether my child can be a musician, can be a footballer, can be a netballer, kitu kama hiyo. So kumaanisha parents again can give career guidance, but if it is on a professional basis, we advise you go to a professional person who will give you and oversee, because these people have the statistics. They know in the nearby future this will happen. For example, as I was doing research for this show, career guidance, for example, people like us who did IT, our jobs are being okay, in the nearby future we shall be disposed of. Why? Because things now are being automated. Actually, I tuned onto a certain station, and now it does not need a soldier to monitor or observe whether tuko na social distance, wamevaa barakoa, kitu kayo. So people are being replaced with robots, machines. So if you get the better career guidance now, you will never be displaced. For example, in the US now, 80% of the people, approximately that is over 800 million people across across North America, Europe, to mention but a few, 800 million jobs are being questioned. Whether should we replace them with robots, should we replace them with machines, something like that. So career guidance basically begins with a parent. It is elevated, it goes to teachers, it is elevated, it goes to professionals. And you know that teachers, especially nowadays, spend almost 3/3 of a day with the children, meaning that a child will learn more from a teacher and a school society rather than at home, where we have seen parents most of the times, if they have white collar jobs, they are always at work, they are always doing busy. So most of their time, students spend their time with their parents or with their teachers. So meaning that teachers also guide these students how to get or how to maneuver the future.
Okay, there's this challenge. Kwanza naona mwelekezi wangu anafurahi sana, anasema career guidance ilimsaidia. Maana alikuwa anataka kuwa mkulima, bila career guidance hangefika hapa maliko saizi. Umefurahi sana naona. Naam, sasa kuna hii issue ya career guidance done at home and done in schools. Unapata nyumbani vile umezungumzia wazazi wako na white collar jobs, both of them. Maybe the mother is a doctor, the dad is a lawyer. Then kuna hii position yenye ameweka mtoto, like we want you to be this when you grow up. Maybe nataka ukue daktari kama mimi ukigrow up. Then mtoto akiwa shule, subjects zinasema otherwise. Maybe itamlead kwa law labda, ama engineering, something else enye mzazi hataki. So hapo hivyo kuna two different things. Anapata a different option at home, akifika shule pia anapata a different option, because you know pia teachers wako na ile motivation. Unaona mwalimu wako anakuangalia anasema uko very good at this subject, what do you want to be? Unamwambia yeah, maybe I want to become an engineer. Anakuambia yes you can. Endelea tu kuboost subject yako vile unaipita vizuri mashallah. So haileti conflict kwa mtoto, haitakuwa inamuaffect. Maybe akikaa anafikiria sana, ama inaweza affect performance yake at school and at home. So how do you manage such things?
So I think first of all, because career guidance ikianza nyumbani, the parent should be able to embrace the child according to the capability of the child. Because kama mtoto wako ni a D performer, unafaa kumkubali as a D performer, but you also encourage her, mommy or Fulan, Ali, you're supposed to do this and this, na umsaidie pia in homework. So basically I think atufai as parents back at home, they're supposed to encourage their kids. Wasiwambie to because the mother is a doctor, you're supposed to be a doctor. No, you're supposed to embrace the child according to the capability. Umguide, umwambie fine, I want you to be a doctor, but also what do you want to be when you grow up? Because not all kids mtafanana. You see, in a family, si branches zote ziko ripe. Kuna ile iko rotten, there is the ripe one, you see. Yeah, so I think back at home, parents are supposed to see the strengths of the kids na their weaknesses, so that at least one is a balance.
Okay,
yeah.
So it is a challenge at home, and I think Rahma ameweka vizuri sana. Parents are supposed to see the strengths and the weaknesses of their children. But you see, again, just coming back to the same issue, there's this situation where the parents wako frustrated with themselves. Maybe unapata ta huyo mzazi hana hiyo white collar jobs. Maybe she really wanted to have that white collar job, but something else happened. So anataka mtoto wake make up for it. Unaona? So mtoto hapo hivyo anakuwa frustrated. Like I have to be this because my mom wanted to be this, but she didn't manage to be this. How well should these parents be managed? Ama pia By the way, is there a session for parents for career guidance for their children?
True.
Yeah, there is.
True.
Oh yeah, I think that one is very nice, because these parents, they're also supposed to attend such things, because in the scenario that I'm telling you, the mother wanted to become something, but it didn't happen. Now the child is being forced to make up for it. In such a circumstance, what normally happens? What would you advise a parent to do?
So I believe and I know that a parent or each and everyone has someone you can listen to. So it depends. It does not necessarily mean mwenye ana white collar job maisha itakuwa mbaya, no. So you have someone you can always listen to, someone who can always advise you, because advice is necessary anywhere. Be advised, but let people not decide for you. If people decide for you, you will end up crashing. Meaning that a parent, him or herself, what such a parent should do is that she or he should hire someone to talk to the children if you are not experienced. You know, these days now people, unajua watoto washaanza kutumia mtandao, internet, masimu, nini, laptops. So literally the children are being drilled in such a way that they are using the media to maybe get or gain access to information which is not right, which is not supposed to be consumed at their age. So parents should ensure that if a child is studying, they should talk to their teachers. My child is ABCD. Teachers will always avail this help, and we are always there for them. Meaning that parents should not give up on their children. They should analyze the strength, their weaknesses, the opportunities the children have, and their threats. Because even choosing a school means that you are going to engage in another community where you are adding on what you have. For example, we have seen children, or we have seen people who are maybe enjoying higher benefits, or they are seated in higher offices, government offices. They see that maybe the bureaucratic headquarters of maybe UN, African Union, something like that, where it all started from was in class at school. So schools also enable children to guide them to ensure that they get their circles again are well reached with people who have maybe wealth to access information, wealth to access people, such stuff. So it literally means that a parent should also choose wisely when taking a child to a different school. Will my child benefit? Yes or no? You need to have a checklist. After availing this checklist, you check, does this school have this? Does this school have this? So such things, a parent should look at such things to enable that his or her children should get the best of the best.
Okay, now that there's the career guidance, like why is it really important for there to be career guidance, the importance of career guidance?
The importance, according to me, the importance of career guidance is to know to enable a child to know the interests and the opportunities available. You see, because right now as we are speaking, white collar jobs have really reduced. You see, because most of the youth wako home, yes, amemaliza form 4, amepata a good grade, but anategemea apate something better than what she has found so that she can get a white collar job. For example, when we are back in school in form 4, everyone, ukimuliza what do you want to become, atakwambia doctor, pilot. There is no kid, you can find one or two telling you I want to be a farmer or I want to be a teacher, and very rare. So few students wanatakanga kuwa walimu. I don't know why. Even me back then sikukuwa nataka kuwa mwalimu. So basically I think with career guidance it gives students the interest, like where are you interested in? You see, okay fine, you're interested in being a doctor. Is there opportunity of being a doctor in the near future? You see, for example, most of the kids want to be surgeons, dermatologists, dentists, you see. But maybe kwa hiyo market it's crowded. But when a child comes for career guidance and mentorship program, the child is able to, the kid anaelewa kwamba, fine, I wanted to be a doctor. But when I become a doctor, in the near future, I'll take my papers and sit with them back at home. I want to be able to practice as being a doctor. But anyway, when I take up secretariat, there are so many opportunities for secretariat. When I take up ICT, I can even work from home. Si lazima nipate job ndio nifanye ICT work. You see? Yeah, so career guidance inapatia mse opportunity, and also it shows a person, fine, you're interested in this. So when you do this, you'll get an opportunity in the near future.
Okay, so basically when you're speaking about your career guidance, it's a whole package.
Yeah.
You don't just tell somebody like you can be a doctor because you're good at this, good at this. You also tell them that maybe after taking this course of a doctor for 6 years, by then there'll be no more opportunities or kitu kama hiyo.
Yeah.
But have you ever found yourself in such a situation whereby you've advised a student, don't take up this course because after 3 years it's not going to be in the job market. Then apparently after 3 years something happens and boom, there's a lot of work for that course, and whatever he took, it's not helping. Have you ever found yourself in such a position?
Yes, we have seen that, especially there are some students or there are some children who don't know what they want.
Yeah.
You tell him do this, he does the opposite. Do this, he does the opposite. So these children sometimes need to understand us at some levels, and need to understand their parents and counselors. Because one, you tell a student or you tell a person, for example, what you can better do according to the way I've observed you in the 3 years I've been with you, is that you may become, for example, a footballer, a great footballer. So we nurture you to becoming what you want. So these children, again, sometimes maybe they have this adolescent stage. You know, it usually confuses. So they need to understand. Sometimes you tell him, no, me when I go and play football, girls will look at me, what, I'll gain the rally. You get it? So children, again, need to listen to us because we are professionals. Now, for example, 2 weeks ago, we have a collaboration with Chance Publishers. So we were looking for content writers. Content writers, and we found so many students, people who did literature, people who did English, various languages. They applied. After applying, our teachers looked into their work after perusing. So the best students were awarded. You get. And actually, we have some tomorrow being Madaraka Day. They are going to Kisumu to link up with the president for a photo session. So literally, us, what we do is that we guide children basing on what we see and basing on what the future lies. Because the future is now changing, especially these times. Those days, a person used to have, maybe you have your certificate in blah, 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 blah. You have a diploma in this and that. So now things have changed. Again, we push the students. If you want to be, for example, an IT person, push harder. For example, at university or at the next level, after performing, you have to also go to the next level. So literally, what we have seen is that children will also lack that cooperation from them. We have talked to parents, and parents are improving. Parents also talk to their children every time when they are on weekends, during maybe such holiday breaks, they are talking to their children. So there is a challenge again, we have to admit, but we are solving towards achieving and solving that challenge. One, we are ensuring that our students, because if a student also or a child is maybe used to you, maybe it can bring that interaction, no, what can this one tell me? So we also bring in other experts to tell them on what is available. Yeah.
Naona kidogo umenikwepa lakini nitarudia tena.
Sawa.
Na hiyo ni makosa upande wa mwanafunzi.
Ndiyo.
Like you have advised them, then they decide to do the otherwise. Now there's this mistake coming from your side. You, as the education counselor, as the career guidance counselor, you advise somebody to take this course. Then, yes, he does take that course. After the estimated year of learning, the course has no job market. You see, the person ends up now starting to look for work, maybe random work. Has it ever happened? And when these kinds of things happen, how do you go about it? Now, for example, let me use a good example. 3 years back in Kenya, there were stories like don't do medicine because now the country is starting to take doctors from India. They want to start using doctors taking medicine from other countries. Or if you want to become a doctor in Kenya, go do medicine in the outside countries. Then right now we are seeing that ever since COVID-19 hit Kenya, there was also lack of doctors until the government had to take medicine students. Yeah, we have seen it. And like right now, kuna hawa wanafunzi wenye wanafanya medicine wana assist a lot during the COVID-19. Wamekuwa, even when schools closed, hawajakuwa wakifunga shule. Wamekuwa on board, hand in hand with the doctors of the country. So like wale watu walikuwa advised to take medicine and they didn't go for medicine. Right now, wako mahali wanasema somebody somewhere told me not to take medicine. Look at me right now. I'm just here seated. I have no work. Labda ningekuwa saidia daktari wa COVID-19. What happens when you find yourself in such scenarios?
Well, what we do, you know, there is no course which is irrelevant. Every course is relevant. Yeah. For example, there was a certain child who told me, I want to be an aerospace engineer.
Wow.
Yes. I first laughed. Say, you want to be an aerospace engineer. What do aerospace engineers do? She outlined all what aerospace engineers do. She had done her research.
Wow.
So I said, okay, fine. Now, what is your grade? You get, what is your grade? Then she had not performed to her expectations. So according to the other system, she had something like 12 points out of 20. I said, fine. How much does it cost? Then we had to open internet and then we Googled. It was very expensive. Can parents afford? Of course they can't. So after doing that, what is your job market? So such questions, we avail such questions on a checklist. So we have seen, as you are saying, that how comes on our side, you guide someone, then after guiding someone, along the way on the nearby future, they derail.
Yeah.
Of course, once we are giving advice, our advice is basically professional. We invite in professionals, university professors, doctors, of course with PhDs, and doctors with real clinics. So invite them, they come, talk to these children, and I believe and I know we have never crashed. Because basing on that expertise again, we have not had such a scenario at International Journal of Languages and Professional Studies. But however, once a child comes up and says, me, I want to be this, so we look at our sister organizations, we look at what is available, what is the news. By the way, even before a child should do a certain course, go and buy the newspapers, the official government newspapers, or any newspaper which is official, buy, read, and see how many job adverts are there. So it depends. If your job in the 1 month you have bought the Gazette, you don't have any qualification, seek your talent elsewhere. Because one, if such jobs are not available, every day, I was reading the newspapers today, there are so many jobs being advertised. IT, government jobs, private institutions, private organizations, agencies, they are announcing jobs. But if your job does not suit what is being advertised in the 1 month, you should think advice. You should try the second best alternative. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Taking a short break. Tukirudi, tunarudi hapo kwa, what is it again? Aerospace or aerospace?
Aerospace engineering.
Aerospace engineering.
Yes.
Mtazamaji, kipindi Nasaha kwa Umma, tunachukua mapumziko mafupi. Usibadilishe station yako. Huda TV.
You can now access Huda TV anywhere, anytime, on the go. Enjoy watching all your favorite programs on Huda TV mobile application. From now onwards, you will not miss out on any of our programs. We have added a couple of engaging features such as Quran recitation featuring your best Quran reciters, Ramadan timetable to help you keep track of your fasting, prayer times, adhkar to bring you even more closer to Allah, and zakah calculation. Do not forget, we are streaming live right in the palm of your hands. Al Huda Mobile, with you everywhere you go. Introducing Al Huda TV mobile application. It comes packed with all our programs, loaded with features you can't afford to miss on your mobile handset. You can now keep track of your prayer timings, calculate your zakah. Your closeness to Allah is even more closer with the adhkar. Most of all, we live stream everything from the application. Go to Google Play Store to install and get the full benefit of Al Huda Mobile, with you everywhere you go.
Coronavirus COVID-19 is a respiratory virus spreading across the world. The infection is spread from droplets of coughing and sneezing of an infected person, touching or shaking hands, or being in contact with contaminated surfaces or objects with the virus. The signs and symptoms are fever, coughing, headache, body ache, difficulty in breathing. The disease can be prevented by regularly washing hands with soap and running water. Avoid close contact with people who have flu-like symptoms. Avoid handshake, hugs, and kissing. Also, protect yourself by covering your mouth or nose using a disposable tissue while coughing or sneezing. If you experience these symptoms and you had traveled or been in contact with a person from a country reporting COVID-19, you should isolate yourself for 14 days and seek immediate medical attention or report to the nearest health center. This message has been brought to you by the government of Kenya and its partners. For accurate information on COVID-19, dial *719# or call 719. Follow us on Twitter at @MOH_Kenya, at spokesperson GOK, at WHO.
Karibu tena mtazamaji, kipindi ni Nasaha kwa Umma. Mada ya leo ni Education and Career Guidance. Naam, kabla tuchukue mapumziko mafupi tulikuwa tunazungumzia kuhusu aerospace engineering. Now kwa career guidance, mmeniambia kuna a whole package of do this because you are capable of doing it, don't do this because maybe you cannot afford it, usifanye hii kwa sababu it is just impossible. Like you don't have to lie to someone. Mwanafunzi alitaka kufanya aerospace engineering and I imagine like it was so out of question because it is not possible. So and najua pia na naelewa kuna a lot more other careers that mtu anaweza choose and hawezi kuifanya. So like what sort of advice do you give such students? Maybe let me start with Rahma.
Okay, so to clear that, umesema it is impossible. No, it is not impossible. Yeah. It is very possible. But the thing is, fine, you'll get the career guidance uambiwe fine, you can be an aeronautical engineer ama unaweza kuwa huyo air spacecrafter.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, the thing yenye watu wanakosa kuambia these people, be job makers. Create jobs for yourself. Do not be job seekers. You see, yes, you can be a pilot, you can go and be a doctor. Sawa, but don't wait with those certificates ukalie because sijaajiriwa Kenyatta Hospital, sijaajiriwa Aga Khan. You see, go outside there, practice what you have done. Yeah.
Reagan.
In addition to what she's saying, you know, our education system is training us to be job seekers, which is not okay. For us, we should ensure that we revise our education system. Actually, I usually say we should decolonize our education system, where we remove the irrelevance and put the relevance. So, to downscale it, you go to primary, you go to secondary, you go to university if you want to become a professional person in your life. So, literally, decolonizing our education system, we should learn and teach the children on the future trends. For example, Agenda 2063 of the African Union says that Africa will be itself. We shall be the North America by then. But I don't know, we are in 2021. I don't know how we are achieving that goal. So we should ensure that we teach our children to become job seekers. Kwa maisha yangu mimi, sijaiomba kazi, haki ya Mungu. Na nashukuru Mungu. Sijaiomba kazi mimi. So I was trained to be what I am because in my mind, deep in my mind, I had it that mimi, I want to be a job creator, not a job seeker. Because each and everyone will tell you, nilijaribu, niliandika application, niliandika nini, sijaipewa kazi.
Your CV has never been rejected anywhere.
My CV has never been rejected anywhere. I can assure you that. First of all, you know, some people put their minds or lock their minds in one corner, like me to be a doctor, to be this. But each and every service is needed. You can't live without the other. It is just like the food chain. Each and everyone needs the other. So what you need to do, what the students or children need to do is that one, they need to decolonize their minds by reading the recent trends, the future trends, where the future lies. For example, I said the future now lies in using machines, using robots. How do you fit? Go and study AI. If not so, Google is also employing people. Mozilla is employing people to localize. By the way, have you opened these browsers and you see that you can now maybe translate from Kiswahili to English. You can use the languages you know to get what you don't know. You can be employed by any organization. Google can employ you. Many people think that being employed by such organizations like Google, Mozilla, Safari, it requires you to have the technical know-how, no? Use what you have. The language, you know the language maybe. By the way, Africans, we are blessed with the talent. You find a single African knowing more than 3 languages, and it is baba yako kama ni...
Something about kitambo you need to know people or what?
Okay, I said kitambo it was who knows you.
Yeah.
No, who do you know? Sorry. Kitambo it was who do you know. These days is who knows you. Okay, for example, unaweza pata in so many offices, fine. Mashallah, for him, his CV has never been rejected. Mashallah. For me, it has ever. I won't lie. You see? Yeah. So maybe for him, it's because of what the principle he stands with. Sindo? For example, okay, fine. You're a journalist. Sindo? You take your phone. These days tuko na smartphone. Yeah. Chukua simu yako, take that clip, upload it on your YouTube channel. You see, then these days it's good because the more subscribers you have, you get paid.
Yeah.
So Apple may create job than just sitting at home, or than just waiting for a white collar job, ama than waiting for fine umepeleka CV yako ilm KTN Al-Huda na hakuna mtu mwenye amekuita, then ungoje wakuite. Create that job opportunity. You will grow through that, and also you'll also be able, you know, when you're creating a job opportunity, pia una create employment opportunity for someone else.
Yeah. Okay, like is it necessary when you're giving people career advice or the career guidance to include what you've just said? For example, saizi kuna mtu anataka kuwa daktari. Is it really necessary ambiwe by the time unatafuta attachment, make sure at least ukwe umejua mtu mmoja pale juu, ndio ukimaliza usiteseke sana, because I've also had that one. Like watu wanasema nataka kutake kitu fulani, but nataka ni make sure by the time nimemaliza 2 years ama 3 years nikuwe nimejua mtu uko juu, because nikimaliza kama sijui mtu yoyote, it's going to be a waste of time. So can that also be part of your advice, or hiyo enyewe ni mtu tu atumie akili ama?
So I don't think it should be part of our advice, and it's not actually part of our advice. It was just something I was saying, because ukiambia mtu fine, you want to be a doctor, before umalize shule make sure umejuana na doctor wa Kenyatta. Hiyo ina demoralize first of all, because atasema fine, I want to be a doctor, but nisipojuana na daktari wa Kenyatta, so it means I won't practice. Unaona, so atasema wacha udaktari ikae, let me just look for something else. The basic thing that us we advise people on, fine, you want to be a doctor, be that doctor, do it to perfection, and make sure you be a job creator more than a job seeker. Because fine, umepata certificate yako as a doctor or as a nurse, you can also practice locally. Unaona, just around your community, because unaweza enda upate Machakos County, Makueni hakuna mtu mwenye ameikuwa nurse huko, but apparently alhamdulillah umekuwa nurse, si ndio? Why don't you go back to your community and start treating people, start educating them about which drug is best to use, which drug is not best to use, si ndio? Start educating people about it is more safer to go to the hospital and give birth more than calling in midwives, than calling in midwives wawazalishe nyumbani.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that just brings me to another question. Reagan, I'm giving you an opportunity right now, vile tu you are seated there. Advise a parent who has a connection with a doctor at a bigger hospital. Now, the parent is advising the kid, oh, mommy, just take medicine because I have a best friend of mine who is working at Kenyatta Hospital. You're going to get a chance. Yeah, knowing that medicine is let's say 6 years. You don't know what's going to happen after 6 years. The parent, you are not sure. You don't know after 6 years whether your best friend is still going to be there. At the same time, mtoto wako yuko so perfect at medicine. Reagan, what kind of advice are you going to give that parent?
First of all, there are some qualifications which you will never rule out of life. Me being a lay person, I can never rule out medicine and surgery. Of course, if you go to a doctor and a doctor tells you uko na shida fulani, utakubali. Hata kama anakuambia uongo ama nini, utakubali.
You just have to agree.
You have to agree.
Yeah.
So there are some qualifications or there are some professionals you can never rule out, including medicine, journalism. Do you know the earliest journalist on planet Earth was Angel Jibril?
Yeah.
Because he brought the news,
yeah,
and said on such and such a day, at such and such a time, this will be born. So some professionals can never be ruled out. So as we are advising people at International Jamia of Languages and Professional Studies, one, we ensure that we suit with what is going to take place, all the recent trends. Now, like currently the world is in search for doctors. Actually, many doctors, African doctors, are flying out of the continent to go to look for greener pastures, which is okay because of some few issues, maybe little payment, little what, so blah 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 blah. So me as a counselor or a person who can advise someone to do medicine and surgery, we shall look at the checklist again. We'll look at the strength, we'll look at the weaknesses and the opportunities, plus the threats and weaknesses. So we look at this SWOT analysis to ensure that a child will benefit from the course he or she does. One, again, she said that what do parents need and what do parents require for example, to mold their children to have a better future. Like as I said, it does not require you to have a professional job in your head. Even welders are people. Even people who are attending or having maybe shops in markets are people, and they have a way of living. Farmers are also people. So advise a child according to what the world is going. Actually, the backbone of Africa is general agriculture. Most students are running away from agriculture because simply they think it is for people who are maybe who have never gone to school. No. When I was doing my undergraduate studies, I did research about an irrigation system based on weather and soil moisture. And indeed, it could help African countries to ensure that we add on what is there. It is a system whereby it enabled farmers to irrigate irrespective of the weather conditions. So it was using artificial intelligence. So we tried to install it for few people to ensure that they benefit from it, to boost also what they get on a daily basis. Basically, that is it. So we give advice according to the recent trends, and we give advice according to the professionalism we want.
Okay, like it's okay, but I think you didn't get me right. Let me come again.
Okay.
A parent advises the kid, maybe your child. Now I'm telling my child, Mommy, you finished Form 4. I want you to take medicine because they have a best friend who's working at Kenyatta Hospital, for example. When you finish your university degree, you're going to get work easily. Yeah? Now the parent is just assuming that after the 6 years of the child doing medicine, the best friend is still going to be there at Kenyatta Hospital. Now, my question is, what kind of advice should the parent be given? Because on your level, we've already talked on your level. You've given us the packages, how you do the checklist while advising the students. But now coming back to the parent, is it really relevant for the parent to do such a thing? Is the parent supposed to do such a thing? Telling a child, take this course because I have a best friend somewhere. When you finish this course, you're going to get work much more easier. And Rahma said earlier, it's a way of demoralizing yourself. But now again, as a challenge, you find the parent herself or himself is the one encouraging the kid. So what sort of advice can you give such a parent?
Well, we can never rule out any opportunity, because that is also an opportunity in its own.
Yeah.
Basically, some people get jobs due to maybe connections. We can never rule out such. So me as a parent, I would advise that child to go for he or she what they want. Because what is that they will ensure that actually in between you are studying medicine and surgery, you get connections within. Because you will not study it alone.
Yeah.
Even the teachers will also be there to guide you. Maybe you have, if that is your passion, you perform to your best. Performing to your best means that even your teachers will do something for you. They can give you their connections, go and do such and that, because you are the best out of the best in the students, or you are active in class. So as a parent, we shall advise that parent to ensure that the child goes for that. One, if that friend of his or her in the nearby future is still working there, it is also an added advantage. But again, this child, along the way, he will study with other colleagues. Those are also the various connections. As I go back to what I said at the inception of this program, is that one, it depends also what school you are going to. So various schools, for example, many prefer going to University of Nairobi because of its status, watoto wa wadosi, something like that.
Well, you know, there's the last week on the newspapers, there was this, we actually discussed it on the show last week. Back in the days, nobody wanted to be a teacher. You could hear everybody saying, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a nurse, but you could never hear anyone saying, I want to be a teacher. But I was shocked last week because the data released, actually, many people who finished Form 4 opted to go for education. That is, they want to become teachers. So like right now I'm wondering, is it that with the change of the system, education has become more easier than it was during the other days, or the career guidance? Of course, right now career guidance is a top notch in the society. Like many people join universities after going through the career guidance. So is it that in the career guidance department that education has been given, education as a career in itself, has it been given a higher chance of advice to the students, or is it that the students themselves have decided sitaki kufanya engineering, kitu itaanza kuni stress, heri tu nichukue education nikae nikijua nitamaliza nipate kazi?
So if I can say, before I answer your question,
Yeah.
you know, with career guidance, answering on the question you had asked, Reagan.
Yeah.
Okay, for example, for us at Brookville College, this is what we do. When you come in, you want to do maybe marketing, or you want to do secretariat, or you want to do ICT. So we really encourage the kid to come with a parent, so that in the long run, mzazi asikuja kwambie, we ulienda Brookville ndo ukaambiwa ufanye hii usifanye hii what I wanted. We hear both sides, then we cancel the parent, and we also cancel the kid.
Oh,
you understand?
that's nice,
yeah. So based on education, you know, this new system CBC, it may create more opportunities, but we won't say at the education it's the only course kwa market. No, there are so many courses inside the market. Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Reagan? Why do you think students these days opt to go for education? Is it that education is much more easier these days, or students just don't want to work a lot, they don't want to strain their brains?
Again, education is an important thing. You can never rule out teachers.
Yeah.
Actually, in German, teachers are paid higher. They are paid higher compared to doctors and what have you. Because a teacher is a person who will nurture you, mold you, and uphold you until you become what you are. We all pass through hands of teachers. It does not necessarily mean that you pass through a formal teacher or even informal teachers. A parent is a teacher at his own or at her own. A person, for example, the village, you know, a child is not born to be for one person. A child is also for a village. So the village also molds you to become what you want, to become what you want to be in future. So basically, we advise that children should ensure that, one, they look up onto their elders. Two, they ensure that they get the best advice from experts. Three, they should always listen to their parents. We are seeing many children are enrolling in for teachers because so many schools are also upcoming. You understand?
Yeah.
So such schools again ensure that many children, the population is now growing. Actually, we are foreseeing that in 2030 we shall have approximately 8 billion plus people on planet Earth, and we are competing for few resources. Literally, it means that parents should leave children to do teaching, because many children are being born. A family of one tomorrow will become 2, 3, like that will multiply. So children, please go. If it is teaching, go for that. If it is medicine, go for that. But however, ensure that if you want to be a teacher, have the best of the best, because it is you who has the turning point of this child. It is you to let him down or bring him up. So if you want to be a teacher, go for that and be the best, do the best.
Okay, now finally, what do you think the government should do so that career guidance reaches the people in the rural areas? Because as it is right now, the people in the urban areas get more career guidance from more career institutions that are there, but it is really hard to reach the people in the rural areas. So what do you think the government should do in order to achieve getting the students in the rural areas to also be part of the career guidance programs?
I think the government should build up more schools with counselors in the rural more than in the urban, because you know, for urban, we'll say there are so many colleges outside there, professional colleges that offer guidance and counseling. But in the rural areas, there are not these colleges. you'll find one or two, and in which they don't basically major on career and guidance. So I think the government should enforce it, and also even not only building colleges, they can even bring up institution or centers whereby a kid akimaliza form 4 should go there and get counseled, because there are so many professions outside there who practice guidance and counseling as a career. Yeah.
What about you, Reagan?
Your question?
What do you think the government should do in order to bring the people from rural area on board so that they join the program of career guidance?
So before heaping the baggage on government,
Yeah.
it starts from home.
Yeah.
Parents, then it goes to teachers,
Yeah.
then the government will always come in. The government has always come in through using the Gazette. It has always come in through using its spokespersons to come on media, guide people, do this, do that. Literally, it does not mean that you will be guided in whatever you want. You can also be guided in health. You can be guided in security, like that, like that. So the government, in its own capacity, has also opened up the space. How it has awarded scholarships to people. It has awarded so many opportunities to children, so that in the nearby future, it is these young suckers who come up when the old bananas grow old. So in the meantime, the government is doing its best to ensure that they get children in the normal or the proper line. 2, the government should also ensure that the syllabus also is put to an appropriate way. An appropriate way means that children should learn the relevance, not and drop the irrelevance. Why would I go study a subject which will not help me, yet my passion is in this? So the syllabus again is the major root cause of us being colonized in our minds. So the government should change into its style of ensuring that the syllabus suits the children in an appropriate way. Science should be science, arts should be arts. So they should call whatever according to the recent trends.
Na shukran sana wageni wangu wa siku ya leo, maana natumai mtazamaji umekuwa mwenye kunufaika na mwenye kufaidika na kipindi chetu cha leo. Bila shaka ningependa sana kuwapongeza kila mtu aliyefanikisha kipindi hiki cha leo. Mtazamaji, nimekuwa wako Fatma Sharif, kipindi ni Nasaha kwa Umma. Endelea kuwa nasi, Huda TV, mwongozo kwa umma.
You can now access Huda TV anywhere, anytime, on the go.